Charlie, or welcome back to my channel. Today I've got part 3 to a video that I did a couple of weeks ago and the part 1 that I did a few weeks before that, which is the most annoying patients ever. Now the list just keeps on going and I can't put it all into one video because that would be such a long video, so I've broken it down into parts. There may be a part 4 if I keep writing the list, who knows, let's see. Anyway, if you guys want to see the most annoying patients we have to deal with on a daily basis, then just keep watching. Okay, so number 1 is when somebody phones up to make an appointment and say it's a broken tooth or a lost filling, emergency, anything like that, and we tell them unfortunately we can't get them in until tomorrow or the next day or the day after that because we're fully booked, and they say
it'll only take 5 minutes.
Yes, but we don't have a 5-minute space to put you in. Now I've created my own appointment book. This isn't a real one because I'd get fired if I did that, but I just made one on like a photo editing software of what one would look like. So this is it. Let me just explain it. So all of these blue blocks are people's appointments. So you've got like 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 25 minutes, any spaces in between, which you can see there are not. That's like where people expect us to put them. There are no spaces. So if we've got an appointment at 9 o'clock and another one at 9:15 and somebody says it'll only take 5 minutes, just put me in between those two. But there's not a 5-minute space in between when the 9 o'clock patient finishes and when the 9:15 patient is in. So to you it could be you're only in the chair for 5 minutes, but that means we'll have to shorten somebody's appointment by 5 minutes, and we don't have the space to do that. We can create a 5-minute block, but we're gonna run over with the person that we've shortened the appointment for. Do you see what I mean? So it might only take 5 minutes, but we do not have that space to put you in. Anybody out there does that, please, please, please don't, because it is the most frustrating thing to hear on the phone. We do not have that space to put you in. Okay, the next one I sort of touched on in a previous video, but not really too much, and this is when somebody rings up for an emergency. Now again, I made a little appointment book so you can see. This is how emergencies work. So we have patient, 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 a 15-minute space for emergency, patient, 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 patient. So we are obviously going to offer that emergency time because that's the only time we've got to see you. Depending on which practice you work in and what dentist you see, they might have more, they might have less, but this is how it works. You have a space specifically for emergencies. So we're going to say come in at 10:35, that's our emergency space. Now what people tend to think is okay is if they say, oh well I can't do that, can you get me in at 1 o'clock? No, there isn't a space at 1 o'clock. The emergency space is 10:35. Now if you're ringing for an emergency, that means you are either in pain, there is swelling, or there is bleeding. If you're experiencing any of those 3, generally you will be able to say that's fine, I'll come in whenever you can see me because I'm in so much pain. You can't specify what time you want to come in for an emergency. I don't mean a general appointment, I mean if you ring in at 8:30 in the morning and you say I want an emergency today, we are number 1 fitting you in on the day like you've asked us to because there's a problem. If you ring for an emergency on the day, you should make yourself available for that emergency time. I know there's going to be exceptions, like if you're a teacher or you can't get out of work or something, but 9 times out of 10 when they specify time, it's because they're going shopping or they've got a hair appointment or something. If there is a real genuine reason that you can't do that emergency time, then that's fine. But if you're just saying it because that doesn't really fit in that well with your schedule, it's kind of tough. We have to see you around our schedule because like I mentioned a minute ago, we don't just have any 5-minute spaces that we can put you in. We only have the allocated spaces. We can't shorten somebody's appointment because that means we're just going to overrun by the amount of time we shortened it by. That's how it works. That's why dentists run late, and then people get angry that the dentists run late. Anyway, that's going on to a kind of different subject. I'm going to move on to number 3. This isn't every single practice, but it is some practices, and it's something that happens in my practice only for the hygienist, the dentist not so much. It's when you miss an appointment, which is called an FTA or a DNA, so failed to attend or did not attend, and you get charged for that missed appointment. Now the reason you get charged is because, say for example, it's a 30-minute appointment. That's 30 minutes that we've booked out for you that you haven't shown up for. So now the dentist isn't going to get paid for that 30 minutes, and that's 30 minutes of time wasted. Well, I mean, the nurses can stock up and do odd bits and bobs, the dentists can go through notes, read referral letters, but in general, that's 30 minutes wasted of the day. And that's 30 minutes that somebody who genuinely needed an emergency but couldn't get one could have had. Again, I know there are reasons, like maybe you've had a bereavement or you're really sick. If you are sick, the best thing to do is to ring up, because that's fine, you can't help being sick. If you've had a bereavement, yeah, I understand that it might not be the easiest thing for you to do and ring up, but we do make exceptions for those. But I'm talking more about the people that just forget, or they've double booked, or they just haven't rung to tell you that they're not going to be there for the appointment. And the same happens when you've got a family appointment. The family come in and you say, is so-and-so coming? And they say no. Okay, well if you'd have told us that before, that could be a 10-minute space that an emergency could have come in for, instead of us running late all morning because we had to squeeze people in the 5-minute gaps we didn't have. I've just realised I haven't even said what the annoying thing is here. It's when they complain and refuse to pay the charge for it. Now, like I've said, not every single practice does this, but if you go to a practice where you have to pay because you've missed an appointment, there's no point complaining about it, because like I've just explained, it's 30 minutes or however long it is that appointment has been missed for. There are exceptions, like I said, bereavement or you're sick or something like that, but if you miss an appointment, the chances are you're going to get charged for it. And I don't know if this is just me personally, but if I missed an appointment and I got charged, I'd feel really guilty that I'd missed the appointment, and I'd have no problem paying the charge because I know I've made a mistake. It's not their fault, it's my fault, and I have to, unfortunately, pay the consequences, if you will. So yeah, if you get charged for an appointment that you've missed, unless there is a real genuine reason, just pay the charge. Otherwise, it's just going to look pretty bad on your record. Okay, I've only got a couple more points to cover, so I'll try and make them quick so this video isn't too long. But somebody actually commented on the Most Annoying Patients Part 1 video, and she listed the things that she goes through as a dental receptionist that are really annoying, and I thought, that is a really good one actually. And this one is when people ring up and they say, like, I've got a hole in my tooth, I need a filling. Okay, I can book you 20 minutes if we've got 20 minutes, or I can book you 10 minutes. But the chances are the dentist can't just do the filling like that in whatever appointment I've booked you. And that's because they don't know, 1, which tooth it is, 2, how big the hole might be, 3, if it's just a filling that you'll need, it could be something more like a root canal, a crown, it might have to come out. So when we tell you that the best thing to do is to book an appointment to be seen, and if you're in pain, to get you out of pain, don't complain and say, no, you want a filling booked right then. If, for example, I book out 40 minutes for a filling because you say you've got a massive hole in your tooth, you come in and the dentist says, I can patch that up in 10 minutes, that's 20 minutes of the appointment wasted. It also works the other way around. If I book a 20-minute appointment and you come in and the dentist says, this is going to need a root canal, I need 40 minutes, he's not going to be able to do a 40-minute appointment in 20 minutes. This is why we book to be looked at and get you out of pain instead of just booking a filling appointment, because the dentist has no idea, like I said, what tooth it is, how big the hole is, if it's cracked, what treatment it's going to need. They need to see you and they need to assess what exactly is going on before we book a further treatment appointment. Okay, moving on to this last one now. This is dental nurse related. The rest of them has been more dental receptionist related, but this one happened to me today. Oh my god, I've had such a stressful and horrible day. I'm so glad to be home and I don't have work tomorrow. This one is when the patient obviously has their mouth open and the dentist is drilling and the nurse is suctioning. As soon as the dentist comes out of the mouth, the patient shuts their mouth. even if I've still got the suction in there. And then they start choking on all the stuff that's in their mouth. That's because they've closed their mouth. If you keep your mouth open and I've got the suction in there, I can suck up all of that shit that's left in your mouth. But if you just close, I'm not going to suck up anything apart from your teeth. And then what they do is they choke on it all and they start coughing and they need to spit and they need a drink of water. If you wait until both parties are out the mouth, you'll have a much more pleasant experience. Today we were doing a crown prep and the dentist was drilling, I was obviously suctioning. Every single time the dentist took his drill out of the mouth, the patient shut their mouth and clamped onto my suction and then started coughing and choking. And I was like, just keep your bloody mouth open and then I can suction all the rubbish out of it before you start choking. So to have a more pleasant experience at the dentist, keep your mouth open, the nurse can get all that rubbish out and you won't choke. I realise that when I'm saying all of this, I'm saying you. I don't mean you specifically, the person watching this. Unless you do any of these things, then I'm annoyed. But no, I just mean a general you because it's the easiest way to explain things instead of saying they. Anyway, that's pretty much where I'm going to leave this video today. I might, like I said in the intro, be doing a part 4 to it. We'll see how that goes. I hope you guys had a great day and you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Click that subscribe button down below and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!